Yes.
I can't message you. Hi, nice to meet you. Good morning. Nice to meet you.
It's fine.
Good morning. Ken, nice to meet you. Hi, Jeff. Ken, nice to meet you. Jeff.
Hello, good morning, everybody. We are Event Harmony, and here at Event Harmony, we know event planning is planning to be managed. That's why we want to help and make it easier for you with our event planning website. Whether it's for a wedding, corporate event, or a special celebration, you're able to streamline your planning, reduce stress, and create the event of your dreams with our user-friendly platform.
Almost 3 years ago, I was planning my teen set, and it was so stressful. I had to find someone that was in our set budget and locally. We even spent hours scrolling different websites to try to find someone that can match our criteria. And even if we did, it was hard to keep in touch with them. Then we came across an expo. And in that expo, we found someone that could plan our event with ease and take the weight off our shoulders. Ever since then, I thought, why not have an expo-like design on an online platform for people to have an easier access to and to make event planning less time-consuming and stress-free.
Hello, I'm Samantha, the CEO of Event Harmony. I'm Marina, the secretary.
I'm America, and I'm the CFO. I'm Silali, I'm the CTO.
I'm Melissa, I'm the CMO.
So the problem we are trying to solve is that event planning is very stressful, time-consuming, and expensive.
Our solution is to make a website where you can plan your own event to your own liking, where we have a list of vendors from decorators, caterers, florists, photographers, and more. We want to help reduce the stress of going to different places and getting lost with our user-friendly website where you can find everything you need all in one.
This is our customer segment. This is ages between 35 to 45, and we cater to all genders, and this is meant for people who want or need to plan an event. This is our next customer segment, where it's ages between 21 to 30, and primarily female, and this is for beginner event planners.
So this is our customer relationship. In order to get customers, we plan on using social media marketing, and to keep customers, we plan on sending out email newsletters to keep them updated, and to grow more customers, we will continuously add new features to our website. Introducing our competition. Our competition consists of Event Texas, Events, and Humble Hostings. Here at Event Harmony, what sets us apart from our competitors is that we offer to help you set a budget, multiple events to plan, affordable pricing, individual planning, and we prioritize small and eco-friendly businesses. Event Harmony offers affordable rates, time-saving convenience, and the ability to plan your own event without having to choose between packages all on one site.
Here we have our market sizing. Our total addressable market, our potential revenue would be $77 million, and that's if we were to sell to every event planner in the United States. Our serviceable addressable market, our potential revenue would be $8 million, and that's if we were to sell to every event planner in California. And for our market share, with our conversion rate of 2.6%, our potential revenue would be $216,000. Here we have our potential revenue for our first 3 years. Our first year, $216,000. Our second year, $305,000. And for our third year, $455,000.
Are you or a loved one feeling overwhelmed with event planning? Are you not sure where to start? We have you covered. Introducing Event Harmony, a one-stop destination for your ultimate event planning solution. With our online platform, you can easily book venues, caterers, and vendors. Join Event Harmony to cut out the stress and make your dream event come to life.
So here are the analytics we got when we launched our ad. Our ad received a total of 2,200 views with 1,200 clicks. And our main demographic was males from ages 25 to 34. Oh, and based on our analytics, we believe a potential business pivot would be narrowed marketing. Since our ad was viewed by primarily men, we would promote more men-centric events like sporting events or work events.
For our marketing, our goal is to have our ad to catch people's eyes and have our ad anywhere we can think of. And our current marketing is just on our socials, which is Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And what we are tracking is what keeps people interested and on what platform they are most interested on.
This is our sales plan. We offer a variety of packages. First, we have a 7-day free trial, and this is so that people can get a deal with our website. And we also have a one-time fee of $25, so users will pay that fee and they get to plan their entire event. Next, we have a yearly fee of $70, and this is targeted towards event planners and people who are planning events at some longer periods of time. And we also have a vendor fee of $80. And vendors will pay this fee and they will be featured on their site for a year.
Our capital ask is $100,000 for 10% of our company. This money would go based towards our development, our administrative, and our marketing. Here you can see our startup cost, which is $40,000. This includes our consulting, our administrative, our marketing, and our bug fixes. And then for our SG&A costs, this is $145,000. This includes our administrative, our marketing, consulting, and our legal fees. And then for our exit strategy, we plan to sell Event Harmony after 3 years to someone who is in the event planning industry or is familiar with our website.
These are our environmental impacts. Data centers are used to keep the internet running and they use up a lot of energy. We would directly cause waste from events, so we would choose green data centers to reduce the amount of energy being used and promote eco-friendly businesses.
Here we have our contact info and the social medias we are on. Join Event Harmony today to experience the ease and affordability of stress-free event planning. Thank you.
The size of your group, and each person has a good part to play. Has a section that you've divided out very well that we projected well. I will say that I've noticed this every time that the speakers sound on we're struggling to hear you, and then all of a sudden we're plugging our ears because like that. I hope the presentation, when it comes to pitching to investors, we can hear your voices as well as we can hear your slideshow. 3-year, I just want to mention something. 3-year turnaround to sell too fast, too soon. We need a little more time to build it, a little more time for it to incubate and become. This is a bigger business than you can see at the beginning, and you'll see better when you get around the first couple turns after you've launched it, and you'll go, whoa, we could do this too. Whoa, we could do that too. Do you know, even other judges that are sitting up here younger than me probably don't remember when we had to pay to have an email address. You couldn't get an email address without registering and paying a monthly fee for your email address. You guys grew up, you can get, I'll go here, I'll go there, I get this one, I get that one. So you go back to the page where you have your pricing, your projected pricing, right there. Just be thinking, think ahead. Who are you going to be in the future, and how are you going to benefit by the vendor should always be paid because that's big. But at some point, you need as many people as possible to pile into this party. And when they arrive, now you're going to make money off of it in so many different ways that you don't even see right now. So I think I like that the curriculum or whoever's told you guys, I never saw this last year where somebody talks about a exit strategy. I never heard exit strategies before. I'm very familiar with them, but I hadn't heard Coutinho teams talk about exit strategy. So I like what you're doing, but that's a huge part of being an entrepreneur is creating, launching, building, establishing, growing, and selling. And so think about that. How are you going to make the best money on your exit strategy and what stage will it be in? Doesn't mean you can't start another business, have two while you're doing that. Let it grow to the point that it's mature enough to sell on a good climb, a good trajectory that it's headed up, and it's going to net you the most money. You take that money and roll into the next thing. If this team works good together, let this team do another business and another one and another one. That's my thoughts on it.
I will say I do like the idea. Yes, ironic in least my regard. I have a colleague who's in class with me who's doing a similar idea with a niche for more Hispanic-based events. But albeit, the model that you have, not this specific sales plan, but the idea of marketing to generate customers to justify vendors. It sounds easy an idea. It's harder to practice because you have to demonstrate to the vendors you can get enough customers to even support a handful. So if I were to do a next step, I would recommend trying to do a mock MVP of an event and trying to talk to vendors and say, hey, this is for students, we want to make this idea. We have a cousin's birthday and we would like to have you and go through the process as if the app really exists, just to demonstrate, just to figure out the kinks in it, but also to build some level of confidence and reputation of, hey, they could bring us a customer too, and at least they're good standings. Again, at least for my colleague, the hard part she's having is getting a big enough event to show confidence among customers and other vendors that this is legitimate and not just I asked some friends to do an event. So a mock version would be good for your marketing campaign, and also it can help start developing connections into the new.
And so the only I agree with those of the previous judges with their mentioned and advice given. I'm now going to share with you. Slow down when you talk, please, and talk louder. And seem excited. This is a great product. This is a great, and it's a great plan. I love the idea. But you all just have some energy, just seem excited about it, and just talk about it. And get loud, just kind of be animated a little bit. Do you want to present? So if you make it to the next phase, your present state or any other going forward, just make us, just draw us in. It's a good product. Like you said, do a mock, a mock idea, a mock sample, and have that there. It's a great plan, though. Good job, though. Just, we need to hear you. And just seem excited.
Thank you.
About what you're presenting.
Love the handout, love the presentation, numbers, the graphs, wonderful. Strategy-wise, you guys, there's the one comment in terms of you did the ad, there's a lot more mails than you thought, so you're going to pivot. And I think it's one of those things, it sounds a little bit like you guys are building your business around the you know what I mean? It's like, there's the thing for pivots, so you have to talk about pivot. But I think one of the things about being an entrepreneur is always realizing your strategy and say, this is our business vision, and you know what? We just messed up the ad. And what we're going to do is, because we know we're always going to follow the money, and the money is in the women who create these things. So we messed up our ad, and we realized we messed up the ad. We're going to do it again until we get ads that have 80% women click-through. So you know what I mean? From a business point of view, like absolutely wonderful presentation. I think you guys nailed it in terms of what we need to do for the schoolwork, for the business world, business and checklists don't always match up. So the sooner you can develop a strategic mind to sit and say, this is what the business needs to be, I think that'll really help you guys in the future and really set you apart. But in terms of, to like nail the coursework, I think you guys did that really well.
Thank you.
Well, I thought you did a great job. Visually, it was excellent. My one question is, so I have to, can you reiterate this? Your target market demographic is going to be women or male? Or female or male?
Our target is right now women, but since we ran our ad, we may end up targeting more.
Okay, because last time you had a presentation, it was the same, it was for women, and I said a lot of male potential customers need a lot of help, and by your clicks, it was male, right?
Yeah.
So I still stand by my first comment from last time. You should be gearing this probably like 60% male and 40% women, because it shows the data doesn't lie. If males are clicking on that, looking for help, like I said the last presentation, that's where you should be targeting your market. I have a heck of a time trying to plan parties and weddings when it happens. So just remember, you got to remember, like, I know as a male, I need help with this. So I'm admitting it. I need help, and I think this is a great idea. I would definitely use your product. Since we're on the sales plan, the vendor fee, free trial for 7 days. How did you come up with that? Why 7 days? And I'm going to comment after that, but why 7 days?
Mostly so people can get a feel of how our website works, but they would have a limit of how many vendors they would be able to see and access, just so they can understand and see how our website works and what they would be provided with.
So they don't have full access. I mean, they can look at the vendors, browse, but they can't really use it for the full potential for the 7 days,
Yeah.
correct? So I would be very specific with that.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea. Look at the vendors, read reviews, and then when you want to actually start planning, then you have to be charged. But make that very clear about the free trial, what it consists of. You don't really have full access, right? Yeah. You can browse. You can browse the website, browse vendors. But the vendor fee, have you talked to anyone who is a planner, event planner, wedding planner about the vendor fee? Do they give you any feedback? Have you talked to anyone?
No, we have not been able to get any contact.
I'm sorry, I can't hear on my right ear.
She said you hadn't been able to get in contact with the planner.
Got it. Okay, so I know one. So if we can talk after, and I can set you up a meeting with her. So she'd be happy to help. Other than that, I'm going to let someone move on, but I might circle back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll say the same thing. I think it was a great presentation, great visual. I love the balloons and like the event planning. Like I think you guys brought that whole thing to it. Speaking a little bit louder and more excited about it will help you. I did like how at the beginning you stepped out of behind the mic and came out and like gave a presentation. And I think if you would have kept that throughout, like I felt like that was really good. And then you stepped back in and then it kind of came like you just all were up against the wall. But just talking passionately about it is, that's your elevator pitch. You could say words that are useless, and if you're passionate about what you do, people are going to see that and they're going to buy into that passion more so than even what you say about it. So I would say that, like, I don't know about the vendor fee. I too can get you connected with a couple event planners and wedding planners, and I think for our business we do events. $80 for us seems a little low. I would probably pay more than that to have our business on there. But I also would say that the one-time fee for an event is also a little low. I think you could go much more on that, especially a bigger event, especially considering how expensive weddings are. Like $45 is not even a fraction of a percentage of what they're going to spend on that. And if you're really simplifying and making it easier, I think you can go much higher on that price there. I would consider taking away the free trial and I just recently used a website for designing an Airbnb that I was doing called Havenly. If you get a chance, check it out. I think it's a similar concept, but for designing spaces to like what you guys are looking for. And how they suck you in is you get to do artboards, and you go in and say, hey, what room are you designing? What are your fields? And it takes you through, and then it says like, here's a list of designers that fit what you're looking for that work with Havenly. And when you select one, it says it takes you to the paywall, and it says, $200 for one room, and you get this designer, and then you get a call with them, and then they have a list of vendors underneath them that they use specifically. And then we used them for a couple different rooms, and it was like awesome. It took us in, they did all the work, it was super easy. But what drew me in was like I got to like kind of create my space and that piece. And so for like an event, you could do things that like, are you planning a quinceañera? Are you planning a wedding? Are you planning a birthday party? And then you could have a pay structure dependent on what they select in doing those artboards. And people love artboards. I mean, Pinterest is like, God when it comes to things like that right now. And so like, if you're on your website creating these artboards, and you're getting excited about it, and it says, hey, here's an event planner that does this type of weddings perfectly, and you're matching that person there, then like, $200 for that? Heck yeah, I'll sign up for that because now all the work has been done. And you're using, you use a little bit of AI, you can use a little bit of like algorithms to kind of lead down that. And so I think instead of a free trial, doing something like that gets them excited about like, hey, they've connected me with the best person to plan this event. Yeah, I'll pay the $200 to get their contact information and schedule an on-app phone call with them and start that process. So I think looking at something like that could be a really good option over the 7-day trial. So yeah, but overall, really, really good idea. I think this is something that's definitely needed. And to agree with him, I think focusing on guys would be huge because I love throwing parties. I'm not great at planning them or making them look pretty or good or anything else. So if I could go to somebody that could take my ramblings in my head and put it into something that's cohesive for an event, I would pay top dollar for that as a guy. So
I just want to loop back because I think these guys have really good points, but now it kind of comes back to the idea of strategy and to sit there and target a niche and sit there and say, hey, there's a lot of single dads out there who are trying to do, birthday parties for their kids. Target that, that's a wonderful thing, and sit there and say, hey, we've been, our data says the market is there, we're going to specialize. But that means your introductory slides where you're talking about wedding planning and all the events, I think you really need to sort of flip back and sit there and say, our strategy is, we're going to focus in onto this market, if it's males, if it's whatever it is, but to sit there and say, to sort of have a coherent strategy and sit there and say, this is what we're going to do and why. And if it's niche, I love niches. Niche is a great way to go. And then sit there and say why you're picking this niche. You have the data. You know what I mean? You identify this need. So that could be a really good presentation.
I heard a couple different people talk about seeing, they're saying, hey, can you come out more and seem more excited and project? I want to apologize on behalf of all of us grown-ups, right? That we've been talking to people and exchanging ideas and transacting in the real world so much longer than you're even capable of. I remember shaking your hands as you came in, and I could feel the clamminess in some of your hands. You guys are scared. You're nervous. You're standing in front of big grown-ups. You're pitching an idea. This is when I was in high school and they had a requirement for public speaking, I joined forensics so I could get around it. And then when forensic got to time where it was almost time for that, then I dropped and went back to public speaking, but I missed my speech. I worked the whole system so I could speak, and now I can speak in front of anybody, anytime, anywhere, at any size. So I think what they're noticing is that you're getting lost. Your soul's inside this idea are getting lost in, are we presenting well and how are we doing? So just loosen up, do some breathing, and just kind of just relax. This is your baby. We're trying to help you with your baby. It's not ours. It's not Patino's baby. It's your baby that you're working on launching, okay? So find your spots with each other. And what they're feeling and sensing is they would be brought in and pulled in more as you feel what you're offering. Also, because I just said all of that about how nervous you could be, it reminds me also that this business model that you have right here is a big grown-up type. I mean, it's a big grown-up thing because everybody that you want to incite to be a part of your organization for planning, they're going to be like, who are you and why would I and how are you going to help me? Like, what have you done? What is your background? Where have you been? What have you accomplished? How would you know? And for Ken to offer an event planner that you could work alongside is a great idea. But I'm going to also say, like I said with the last group, I think you guys need to set a little drag on this, start working on the back end of it, grow yourself up into it, let it form a little bit and see what it's going to develop out to look like. But that's going to be immersing yourself in the industry that you're talking about. You have to. And somehow you got these clicks, and I didn't quite understand how you threw a beta test out there and you got 21 to 34-year-old males clicking it. And Kent's older than 34, so I know he clicked it like 100 times. But he's not 21 to 34. So can you tell me, how did you do your beta test? What was it? I missed that part.
We just launched our ad on Google Ads, and then after it was done, it showed us the demographics and the functionality of the bar graph and everything.
Is it still live?
It's paused right now, but I can still access it.
Does it cost?
Yes.
How much does it cost?
It depends on how long you run it. We ran it for 10 days, and that was about $500.
$500 to run it for 2 days. 5 days?
10 days. We did it for 50.
Where did you get the 500?
It was just for a second.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see you spend another 500 too fast until you had a better set of what you want responses to. But you need more input from the general population, and you need to drive people to it. I'd really like to see you step back, put things together, get ready, pitch again, see if it's all right. This is going to happen fast. We're so late in the year. If it's a real business that you really want to launch, do that again. Ask us, some others, pitch in if Quick Labs doesn't have a budget for it. Do it again. Find another, maybe there's another way you can do it besides that. Maybe that was just the first one you found that cost 500, but there's got to be another way to get feedback. I really want to hear what people want from you. What this tickles in them. What they go, oh, because they see something when they see something, and that might not be what you envision. I've thrown tons of parties, huge parties, big events. I'm not great at it, but I team with people. And one of the biggest things about throwing major events is you can't remember everything. You can't think of everything. You can't control everything. You do the best you can. Something's going to go wrong. But the people that are at your event, they don't know what you meant to do. So if you don't panic, you don't say like, oh no, the helium filler isn't working on the balloon thing. You just go like, oh, we're doing water balloons. You know, like, just move and make it work. People always, once they get there, by the time you're 35 minutes into any event, you're done anyway. You already did what it needed to be in the first presentation. So finding a way to do that and being around some old salts that have been in party planning and that sort of thing is some of that. I'm going to also offer you some consulting free to spend some time with you guys to help develop it. Thank you.